We are cursed with an overclass, convinced they are all scrappy underdogs.
Right.
And there is something about...
And there's a couple great pages where you go through people who are at the very top of the pinnacle of our society, finance or government, each one of whom has a narrative of how he or she had to overcome.
I mean, the best moment of this is Mitt Romney. Okay,
Right.
Mitt
Right.
Romney.
Yeah, that's a good.
Mitt Romney gets up in a Republican primary debate, and he basically tells a bootstrap story of himself. Where he says, I left home and I moved out east and I went to college. And then we went, and his wife gave this amazing interview where she talked about when they went to BYU, they spent a year in this terrible apartment stapling together carpet floor samples. And this is an actual detail in an actual interview actually given by Ann Romney. And she says, we were so strapped for cash, we had to sell some of Mitt's father's stock to make ends meet. You can look this up. This is not apocryphal. It's an actual interview. And so to me, and the reason that was so interesting to me was, part of the process of elite formation through the meritocracy is constructing for yourself a story about your own overcoming. Because actually the thing that's valued in this mythology is not being to the manner born, is not noblesse oblige, right? It is being scrappy and hardworking. And I do this for myself. I mean, I was raised in the Bronx, and the story I tell myself is like this scrappy outer borough kid who got into Hunter and then made good for himself. But who am I kidding? I had these incredible parents. They're incredibly committed to education. They both went to college. I was a white, straight man endowed with tremendous amount of privilege. And so...
Just so you went Hunter to Harvard.
To Brown. Hunter to Brown.
You did have a tough life. I'm
sorry. That is the most elite insidery joke that could possibly have been made in that moment.
Yeah, just to pick up on what you said about the Bronx, though, back when I was in politics, I used to tell people I was from the Bronx, so they had an image of growing up in the Bronx. Right. People who knew the city better would say, well, where in the Bronx? I'd have to say Riverdale, and they said, you're not, And those who knew even better than that would say, where in Riverdale? I'd say Fieldstone. They'd say, oh, come on.
Oh, yeah, now, exactly. That's second going important. I grew up by Montefiore Hospital until I was 11 years old. My parents then bought a house actually off the estate of a deceased nun in Riverdale, right overlooking the Henry Hudson Bridge. They still live there to this day. But no, so the point is that you construct these stories for yourself.
Right.
And part of what that does is it erodes, what it does is it keeps people's gaze upwards at all times in this kind of fractally receding spiral staircase. And that positioning of one's eyes and head and energy upwards disallows the impetus to look down. And so if you inculcate this kind of rabidly competitive, scrappy underdog quality in your elites, you will, over time, erode the capacity to basically say, well, what the hell is going on here?